Have you ever wondered how the trigonometric functions we use every day, sine, cosine, tan, came into existence? The earliest traces of trigonometry can be found in the ancient Greece. Around 130 BC, Hipparchus was a Greek astronomer, geographer, and mathematician. Hipparchus was particularly interested in the classification of stars and the motion of planets, so at the time, in order to study the celestial bodies, he needed to conduct some astronomical measurement. He regarded the sides of the triangle as the chord lengths within the circle. A chord in a circle connects 2 points on the circumference, and its length relates to the angle subtended at the center. He recorded these calculated results in table of chords. In around 140 AD, the ancient Greek scholar Ptolemy compiled a mathematical and astronomical treatise, proposing the complex motion paths of stars and planets it called Almagest. Almagest included Hipparchus's research on chords and the relationship between celestial. In the following centuries, this book gradually spread to India. The concept of the chord had a significant influence on Indian mathematics, especially in the development of trigonometry. In around 510 AD, an Indian mathematician, Aryabhata, discussed the concept of the sine function in his work. If a chord is divided into two equal parts by a perpendicular line from the center of the circle, called ardhajya, which literally means half chord, and is the same as the sine of angle subtended by the arc at the circle center. Later, it was gradually abbreviated to jaya. It was also recorded in the Aryabhatiya book. During Aryabhata's time, there was already a concept very similar to the modern sine function. The concept of ardhajya used by Aryabhata corresponds closely to the modern sine in trigonometry, but the pronunciation of the sin during Aryabhata's time were different from the modern. Now, let's take a look at how ardhajya evolved into sine. As previously mentioned, the locals had already shortened it to jaya. During the 8th to 10th centuries, Indian mathematical works, including Aryabhata's Aryabhatiya, were translated into Arabic. Sanskrit terms were transliterated into Arabic. Jaya became hiba. But Arabic script does not explicitly include vowels, so hiba was often written in jb. Whereas, hiba had no meaning outside its mathematical context, thus over time, some scholars reading jb interpreted it as jabe, an actual Arabic word meaning fold, bay, or cove. In the 12th century, several important Arabic translators helped translate Arabic works on mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy into Latin, including Gerard of Cremona and Robert of Chester. They translated jabe into sinus, because sinus in Latin also means curve or fold, which corresponded to the meaning of the Arabic word. Afterward, sine was a variant from that evolved from sinus. The term sine itself has no meaning in English outside of its mathematical context. And now, sine was shortened to sin for convenience and to simplify mathematical notation. The abbreviation sin became widely accepted in mathematical texts in the 17th and 18th centuries. The shortened form made it easier to write and read. This all story of sine. Now let's talk the development of cosine, which is closely linked to sine. First, it was derived from the Latin phase 4 complement of sine. Originally called cosinus, the term gradually evolved into cosine through the process of linguistic simplification over time. The cosine function was first defined as the sine of the complementary angle. What it's mean, in the complementary angle relationship refers to the connection between two angles that add up to 90 degrees. In a right triangle, one acute angle theta and its complement 90 degrees minus theta. Since the roles of the opposite and adjacent side switch for complementary angles, the sine of acute angle equal to the cosine of its complement. Later, cosine was also simplified to cos, just like sine. Overall, cosine was indeed derived from the concept of sine. The origin of the tangent is rather unique, with many mathematicians mentioning similar concepts, but its earliest roots can be traced back to ancient times. Around 300 BCE in ancient Greece, mathematicians such as Euclid and Apollonius studied geometric properties and discovered the concept of the tangent, defining it as a straight line that touches a curve at a single point without crossing it. Although the concept of the tangent as a trigonometric function had not yet been developed, their work laid the groundwork for future advancements. Later, many mathematicians also introduced similar concepts, linking it to chords and angles. However, it was not formally integrated into the mathematical system until the 16th century, during the rise of European mathematics. The term tangent officially entered mathematical terminology when Danish mathematician Thomas Finck introduced it in his work Geometria Rotundi. He was the first to use tangent as a proper noun to describe the relationship of the angle's tangent, marking the establishment of the tangent function as a core element of trigonometry. The name tangent is derived from the Latin verb tangere, meaning to touch or to make contact. Over time, the term was gradually simplified, leading to the abbreviation tan. And that's the history of trigonometry. If you'd like to hear more stories about math, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Bye bye.